Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to look at a guy called Dan Sobel. He's part of something called the physical media community, more specifically a sub-sect that's been dubbed as the users. Convoluted, I know. It's only going to get worse. Now, just off the name, you're probably wondering, why would someone in the physical media community end up being covered on this channel at all? Well, Dan is an interesting character to say the least.
And yes, pedophilia. Yes, I did do pedophilia.
Yeah, Dan is, well, he is something. I'll just leave it at that for now. I reacted to a cringe comp made on him a month ago on a live stream. I edited it into a single video as a highlight reel, and me and my co-host at that time were just bewildered by all of this. And I figured, you know what? Might as well make a video talking about it and trying to make sense of Dan. Emphasis on the word trying. Let's get into this. So as I said, Dan Sobel is part of this community called the physical media community, and he's part of a subsection that gets referred to as users. Someone in the comments of the stream clip that I made into a video, they explain what the user community is, and I'm just going to read their comment because I don't think I could come up with a better explanation if I tried. To give a simple explanation about the physical media community, it's a community filled with man-children that like to collect DVDs or VHS tapes for kid/preschool shows. Most people in the community are men-children. There is a lot of infighting in that community, and one of the worst things you can do is bash a user's opinion about a kid's show that they like. Thank you, Raven Skeleton, for that explanation. I got another one from a frequent viewer and commenter on the channel named Jim Can Swim, who was very helpful in the stream chat with explaining more about this. And I'm just going to play a clip of the stream where I read aloud one of his comments. Okay, the physical media community is filled with man-children and real children obsessed with VHS tapes, recreating kid shows and ranting on other users. Rants include such things as grounded threats. Oh, I know what the grounded threats are. It's the... You remember that one thing where people were making like the Caillou parodies? With like the really shitty animation, he would always get grounded. Another YouTuber who has covered this internet subculture, fuck, I feel pretentious for calling it that, is a guy named The Perfect Citizen. And there's a quote by him describing the physical media community that I think is worth mentioning to describe what they're like. At this point, I would like to restate that every single person within this community has some sort of mental disability. And while most of them are capable and functional, some are delusional. What they have posted online about themselves should be taken with a grain of salt, as we do not know what actions they have truly committed, and what actions are simply fabrications within their mind. And while these users may like movies for children or TV shows for infants, they may collect toys and live with their parents, they're some of the most real and sincere people, more genuine than anyone you'd ever meet. Others display their facade to the world while they remain true to their character. They don't care about what others think. That is something that most will never have. Some of them might get tied up in drama, others want nothing to do with it. But what's important to understand is that they are on the internet for a reason. Yes, they're weird, they're awkward, but they've been pushed to this point by the social pressure of the real world. The truth is, most of us struggle to find our place in society. Many give up, they stop trying, they cower, but not these people. They chose not to give up. When they were rejected, they persisted. They searched for a community where they could fit in. They created their own community, a community where everyone is embraced and no one is left out. It's called the physical media community. Yeah, it just sounds like a bunch of people who share a similar, very specific hobby, and they just kind of just form their own group. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. I think that's just a universal drive in people to find others that understand and accept them. Like, I think even the most, like, asocial person, I think even to some degree, they want to find people that understand them or that they can be open with. I just think that's just human nature. But The Perfect Citizen has made multiple videos about Dan, and even videos just about the user community and physical media community as a whole. And I'll make this clear, when I say physical media community, I'm not talking about people who just collect physical media because, you know, physical media is the way to go. But that's a whole other can of worms. I'm not talking about those kind of people. But The Perfect Citizen's first video on Dan was labeled The Next Chris Chan, YouTube's physical media community, which was posted in August of 2024, and it focused on Dan and his backstory in that community. And from the video I gather, Dan isn't liked very much there for several reasons, but I'm gonna circle back to that. Dan's channel consists of videos wishing people happy birthdays, or if he dislikes them, they do this thing called unbirthdays. I don't really get it. Food reviews, which are usually fast food reviews, and saying that out loud makes me think of Nova Online. According to his Wikitubia page, he was born in 1999, which makes him 26 years old at the time I'm making this video. But Dan runs his channel, which is called Dan the My Little Pony and Sophia the First Fan 1999. Boy, that's a mouthful. And from what I've seen from other PMC channels, they love having long names for no reason. If you couldn't tell by the title and the profile icon, Dan's a brony. Some of you probably just shuddered at me saying that. He seems to have changed the name of the channel a few times because according to Wikitubia, the channel name was Dan's Magic Club. But when I searched that, the Sophia, the First Fan channel, is the one that comes up and the profile pic is the same. But according to The Perfect Citizen, Dan at the time was the only member of the PMC that had a Kiwi Farms page, and I'm not sure if that's still true, given some of the other things I've heard just through looking at Dan, all the people he's kind of linked to, or has feuds with, or whatever. Some of these people get a little wild. But for the sake of my sanity and not making this video super long, we're just going to focus on Dan today, and I'm just going to leave it at that. One thing that I do notice is whenever Dan has a beef with another person within this community, he gives them random punishments like, go buy this movie on this specific format with this specific date on it or something like that. It's really strange. I saw a clip of him saying someone's punishment was to get the French-Canadian version of Fantasia on VHS. That's oddly specific.
Lopez is going to be forcing you to live in an abandoned Toys R Us. And I'm also going to be forcing you to get That's My Boy 2012 DVD. And Andy's Media Shack backup is going to be forcing you to get Barney's Adventure Bus on VHS from eBay.
From my understanding, thanks to people in my stream chat, nothing really happens if you don't follow through with these punishments or do what they say. They just get mad at you, I guess. Again, to me, this just seems really weird. But according to someone in my chat, he likes to use AI voices of children's characters to make videos of him talking to them. What? Y'all's Dora bit is even funny when we realize that Dan uses AI voices to talk to kids show characters. Examples include Mr. Krabs and Doofenshmirtz. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, dude, what the hell? Yeah, that is certainly something. He did have another channel, or at least it's speculated that he did, and that it might have been under the name Dan Sobel, but apparently this channel was banned or deleted. We don't know why. A lot of Dan's early history seems to have been lost, and there's very little info about his online history. As, like I said, the old channel was deleted, but there was a video from 2018 that does exist called The Dan Sobel Show, and the video seems to be mocking Dan for the things he says and does, but as far as I know, his older videos are just lost. Dan was and also still is part of the Go Animate community, which has been rebranded to something called Beyond. I didn't even know that. To give a quick rundown on what Go Animate is, it's a program that lets you make animations with pre-made assets. It may sound familiar to you if you remember the whole Caillou Gets Grounded videos that used to be on the internet. That was all done in Go Animate. But Dan was a really huge fan of Go Animate stuff, that he would do the whole grounded thing in his own videos. And it seems like others in this community do this too. And a lot of them would direct the whole grounded thing to Dan, which would send him into a fit of rage.
Okay, everyone. I am making this very serious video because I am starting to get very angry, and it's making me want to rage my voice right now. Because I have 3 opinion changes. I now hate Vinny the social media guy, Devin Osborne, Jose Crespin, and Lance White. Do you guys want to know why I hate Vinny the social media guy, Devin Osborne, Jose Crespin, and Lance White? It is because they exposed me on the Google Meets, and they also blocked me on Facebook Messenger, and they also thinks I was taking jokes that are very mean and very harshful, which I did not even mean to take a joke like that. And Devin Osborne thinks I was insulting Maddie Nelson, which I didn't even do so! So Devin Osborne, Jose Crespin, Lance White, and Vinny the social media guy, if you guys are watching this, what the fuck is your problem? What the fuck is wrong with you, Vinny? Devin Osborne, Jose Crespin, and Lance! Are you fucking wrong with you? You know what, Vinny? You're a monster. And Devin, you're fat. Jose Crespin, you're a bitch. And Lance, you need to go fuck yourself because I am severely done with you all! I am done with you! You made me very angry! You made me very angry and make me want to freak out!
I guess saying someone is grounded is the equivalent of the N-word hard R for these people. Speaking of the N-word,
I got an opinion change now. I now hate Wesley Norris. You know why I hate Wesley Norris? Because he refused to be on this team to agree on angry message videos, and he bashes people's opinions, and he spams people a lot. So Wesley Norris is a spammer and won't leave me alone. So now I hate him for good. That's it, Wesley Norris. You're out. Don't even think about apologizing, you black guy.
yeah, that caught me off guard when I was watching the cringe comp on stream, but his constant feuding with others led him to being labeled as a man-child, which is pretty ironic considering what I've seen of others in this community. That label fits a lot of them. These people will dislike each other for very trivial reasons, such as liking or not liking a certain piece of media. Yeah, if you dislike a certain piece of media that another PMC member likes, it's basically a declaration of war. Or at least, that's what it seems like to me as an outsider. However, people's hatred or dislike of Dan, it has some valid reasons. You see, there was an incident a few years ago on a Google call where Dan told someone under the username Bella Harris to, quote, shove her middle finger inside her vagina. Did I forget to mention that this person was a minor?
This, Bella Harris. Take that middle finger and shove it up your own vagina.
This led to people calling Dan a pedo. Now, one thing I do want to point out in the spirit of fairness here, while what he said is fucking disgusting, Dan seems to say that insult or variations of that to people that he dislikes pretty often, regardless of their age. Like, I've seen him say stuff like, you know, stick your middle finger up your ass and stuff like that.
Take this middle finger, keep it with you, shove it up your private parts, and leave me, Andrew's Movie Corner, Mario Lopez, Ryan Goodwin, Javen Morehouse, and the rest of my friends alone.
It still doesn't make it okay, because I mean, this is a child, like, come on. Restraint. The other thing that he got criticism for was a video he uploaded to his TikTok where he was wearing just his underwear, and he was putting on pajamas, and people criticized him because, like I said, he's 26, well, he's 26 now, but not sure how old he was when this was done. But the point is, he's an adult, and his audience is also made up of children because he's talking about children's media. And let's be honest, he kind of acts like a kid, so naturally kids are probably going to watch this. And it's just inappropriate for a kid to stumble upon something like that. Granted, again, in the spirit of fairness, the video itself doesn't seem like it's intended to be sexual in any way, but the people criticize him for it do have a point that he probably shouldn't be doing that kind of content given the suspected age of people that watch his content. But eventually, Dan uploaded a video admitting to the things he's done, and he even called himself a pedo based on his own actions. I'm just gonna give the highlights for the sake of brevity here because the apology video is like 5 minutes long. We have to look at a re-upload of it because Dan deleted it.
And I feel like I felt ashamed of myself after what I have done recently, this year, and for the last 4 years ago. So, I want to admit my wrongdoings the right way. So, here it is. And yes, pedophilia. Yes, I did do pedophilia because I did tell Bella Harris to shove the middle finger up her private parts when she was young. And I did send that threat to Randy and Reese, which caused Christopher Leon to be mad at me.
I'm guessing he deleted it because he was getting more and more backlash for what he had done. Something tells me that him deleting the video probably made him look worse in the eyes of the people in his community. To me, I'm not sure if I can comfortably say that he is a pedo based on this. Since, like I said, I've seen clips of him telling others to shove the middle finger up their ass. So I'm not sure if him telling that to the minor was like meant to be anything sexual. It's still fucked up. Like, don't say that to a kid. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you know, dude, come on, restraint, and you're an adult. But I'll let you guys be a judge of if it's just him being crude or something way more sinister than that. But there is more, and that's not the only reason why people call him a pedo. You see, there was a point where he was in a video call while nude. He was pretending to be someone named Hamoud Ajam.
What?
Not this again!
Hi, I'm Hamoud John, and I want to go out in public naked.
Oh God. Stop it!
What's wrong, Dan?
Oh
Oh
my god!
Dan's naked. Dan's naked, Calvin, just to let you know.
Hamoud Ajam is another person that's in the same community, and from what I gather from watching one video about this guy, it seems like a lot of the other people in the user community, they make fun of him. I'm not entirely sure why though. I can't figure out why he's hated as much as he is by them. But as to why is Dan butt naked in a call like this, I have no idea. I guess because he thinks it's funny or something. I have heard the claim, I don't think it's ever been confirmed, but I have heard this claim that there was a minor in this call. Again, as far as I know, it's never been confirmed. Either way, it's nasty. And that's not the only really just messed up and weird / questionable thing Dan's done, though. He licked his dog's tongue on video in front of everybody. Like, it basically looked like he was making out with his own dog. And this led to people calling him a zoophile. I found the clip in one of the Perfect Citizens videos. I'll just play it now. Yeah, that's just... I'm sorry, this is really fucking weird, dude. Like, what the hell are you doing? And he admitted to doing this and apologized for it in the exact same apology video that I had played for you earlier.
I did act like a man-child too, and act like a zoophile by licking my dog's tongue in front of everyone on social media. I've done all of those things for the whole 5 years. I'm really sorry, everyone.
Yeah, dude be doing some weird shit. I genuinely don't understand the thought process here, or what led up to him doing the whole naked thing in the call, or basically French kissing his dog. There's something clearly wrong with him. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I genuinely mean like he comes off like someone who has some sort of condition. I don't know what it is, and I'm not qualified to diagnose people. That's just the vibe I get. But there was one other interesting thing about Dan. There was a rumor going around that he had been arrested for prank calling the police. Apparently later on it was confirmed that he was arrested. Dan claims that he was thrown into a psych ward because of a prank call he made. Don't know if that's true. I don't think he stayed in there for long if it did happen. But as far as I can tell, these are the most noteworthy things about Dan. And there's an entire community of people, and from what I've seen, Dan might not even be the weirdest one in the bunch, honestly. Like I said, the Perfect Citizen has multiple videos covering the oddities in this community, and for the sake of my brain cells, I'm just gonna stop here. I might have to revisit this later. So that was a brief crash course on Dan Sobel, or Sobel, however the hell you pronounce his name. What do you guys think? Do you think he's gonna spiral and get as bad as some of the other people I cover on this channel, or do you think he's just kinda gonna stay how he is now? To me, he just seems like a guy that doesn't think things through and does dumb shit and doesn't understand why he shouldn't say or do these things. But maybe I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he is a absolute degenerate monster, I don't know. Thanks for watching, and you all have a good one. Let me know what you think in the comments.